have here today. Kammell's community racing event. So this is one of the winner ticket to Exilecon, yeah? Oh shit. I am scared to read this. Not gonna lie. Okay. We are excited to announce another race event arranged by community member Kammell. Yay, go Kammell! We're offering our support by providing an Exilecon prize package for the rank 1 winner who will be flown to New Zealand to attend Exilecon and compete in the live Exilecon race finale. The event will have players competing to reach level 80 in solo self-fun hardcore Legion. There will be no additional mods aside from the Legion itself. The event is open for everyone, however there is a private league cap of 2,000 players, which means that not really. Like I'm fairly sure that cap will be hit. So if you'd like to join, you can request invitation here. Probably the thread. Yep. It's already 54. It's already 54, yeah. In addition to cash prize pool funded by Kammell himself, the person will get an Exilecon prize package with which includes a VIP Exilecon ticket and entry into grand racing finals at Exilecon, return flights to New Zealand, and accommodation around the event. The events will begin at 12 PM Saturday, June PTT. That's Pacific daytime, right? So that's gonna be like, what is speed? I can just check what the PDT time zone is. 3:30. So like five. So wait, take 3 hours away from that. 3.5 hours away in that, so that's gonna be like 10 PM for me. Okay. So that's actually gonna be really bad time for me, but obviously it has to be like this so that it's, you know, workable for everyone. You can find a countdown here. Yep, 10 days. Casting will be done by Ziggy D, Octavian, and Brill. For more information about the event, check out Kammell's official post. We're gonna read that next. Best of luck to our racers. If you're able to participate in this event, don't worry, we have 2 more Exilecon qualifier events planned in the upcoming weeks, so keep an eye on our announcements. In the meantime, be sure to watch the action next Saturday on Twitch. Okay, I have some shit to give GGG about this, but we'll read this first. Kammell's also for race to 80. Hey guys, skipping the May race for few reasons started from organizing. Wait, isn't this old as fuck? Yeah, this is old, yeah. Well, we can read this again. I think this might have no, it hasn't even been edited, but interesting, there hasn't been any comments on this. How does it have any comments? Even though it's like this wrong. Okay. Skipping the May race for few retired from organizing races, some personal reasons as well as the schedule crunches with flashback and leagues are coming up. The June race should be pretty exciting though. Wanted to let everyone know about this race well in advance so that people are able to practice for it. The race will, be able to practice for a race. Yeah, you're able to practice for a race, but it's like what, 2 weeks? Around like 2 weeks of practice time, or 3. Wait, no, 3 weeks. Sorry, from the start of the Legion, right? Which is plenty, so there's nothing bad about that. The race will be open participant up to 2K private league cap, and the rank 1 player will get one of the trips to Exilecon from GGG and race as a part of the event. The race will be to level 80 and have unwanted mods. The race will be made in private league based in the new league, but we don't know the name of the league yet. And he'll add prize pool money. Okay, so there's a couple. Do we have a Reddit thread for this? But there's a couple issues with this. Obviously, the first one is the 2k cap. During raid seasons, like way back, hitting the 2k people was happening like every race or something like that. If I like every race that was like in a like good time zone for everyone, I feel like, if I remember correctly, and those didn't have like very significant rewards like the Exilecon ticket or anything like that, right? So what I'm giving GGG shit from is this is done in a private league, which has the cap of 2k for whatever reason they have for that. Instead of doing it like what they can do, like for example, flashback. In the flashback, people could actually wait in the starting zone, like in Twilight Strand, and you actually got the countdown for the shit like this on the private leagues. Private leagues won't have that. Would be nice if we had that, like they made it for specifically for this. But when it opens, you can make your character. So there's that. And there's always been like issues with getting people in at the very start. Like it's weird. I don't think it's not gonna be the biggest thing, but it would be nice that everyone could make all their mule characters and whatever ready if they have mules, so they can just actually start racing when it starts instead of making characters when it starts. You know. So if GGG actually set it up on their own system, they could have more than 2k people here. Now, 2k people, like, this is obviously going to be enough to get all of the people who really have a chance for it, most likely. Like, I'm pretty sure if, like, there's, like, let's say that there's someone who would have a chance, but he didn't make it to 2k. If he provides, like, proof that he can easily compete with that, I'm pretty sure they will find a way to get him in. Maybe they'll kick someone out, or I don't know. But I know that Kammell is reserving spots for prominent racers for obvious reasons. So for example, I will get in if I just, like I said, I'll tell him I want in, I'm basically in, right? So there are spots saved for people like that. And like Havoc and, you know, everyone like that. No, that's not it. It's more than 10 spots. Don't worry about it. Like them it not being 2k right now doesn't mean that it's not that. But the kind of issue I have with this, like, okay, this is like we still don't know. GGG still hasn't announced what the racing final will be. It won't be level 80. There's no way. This is way too long of an event for. I think the con is like 2 days or something like that, right? So there's no way. The longest race it can be is an Act 10 Kitava kill. And I highly doubt that. Because there's gonna be 4 people racing, right? So the risk that too many people, like, you know, many people of that, I mean, we are assuming it's 4, it could be more, of course, but we have like 4 spots based on this. Maybe there's gonna be like some people are invited, you know, who knows, we'll see. But let's say that it's 4 based on the tickets that are, you know, provided through the races or whatever, right? The risk of those people dying in the Act 10 race, if they choose to make it hardcore, is too high. So it's most likely gonna be Act 5, also because they don't want to make it too long. And Act 5 Kitava is like it's kind of like the, you know, the first part of the story anyways, right? And it's only gonna take like like an hour and a half or something like that. It's gonna be less than 1.5 hours. And it also, since it's a bit shorter, there's gonna be higher chance that it's gonna be like super close than it being like Act 10. So the race being 80, like obviously this is Kammell would have done this without GGG slapping in the reward for it. So I can't give Kammell any shit. Like he does great stuff for the community, but and he probably couldn't even done anything else. Like if this wasn't Act 5 Kitava kill race, just one run, right? There's way too high of a risk of somebody actually just locking out in it because it's just one race. If it was an Act 10 Kitava race, well, there's a chance for that too, but it's obviously far less than Act 5. But that also isn't the same as what's most likely going to be the final event, which is going to be most likely Act 5, I would assume. Obviously, I could be wrong. So, how this is done is GGG basically just they gave him points to get 2K people. But in my opinion, qualifier for a rate that won't be level 80, it shouldn't be that, if it makes any sense. It's like you don't qualify for a marathon by running a 100-meter race. You don't qualify for a 100-meter race like a sprint by running a marathon, right? Now obviously if you do well in this, you will do well in like Act 5 Kitava too, but there's still the whole strategy for approaching the races are completely different. So I don't know. This is the best thing Kammell can do though, because he can't do an Act 5 because it's too for one event. There's too much RNG for that, and he wouldn't want to do that. Also, he doesn't do races like that. He only does like races to like like level 80 or something like that. That's like that's his style. So this event would have happened. This would have been like a normal race, and then GGG just decided to slap that ticket to the race. Is my guess what's going on. So I mean, there is a way to do this. Like they could I think they could have done this. Like instead of just having one private league, what they could do, and I think which would have been better, but then again, it's not gonna be just level. It's a different thing. So, what they could have done, or I think in my opinion should have done, if the race is gonna be like something like Act 5 Kitava or Act 10 Kitava, is instead of having one private league, you would have like 3 or something like that. Let's assume it's an Act 5. So the first, it's basically everyone gets in, right? And then out of that, 200 or like 100 or something like that best times go for the next one, and that will, like, the good players can go quite slowly on that and still get in the top 100. And then from there, from the 100, you drop it down to like 8 or 10, and from there you actually have the final race. So you would have the Act 5 Kitava for like 3 different private events, like private leagues. Because obviously this isn't a monetary issue. Like they just slapped him points, so he could do 3 leagues. But there's like now people can say, but it's harder. It's gonna be harder to cast and whatnot because the first race has a fucking million people, and the second one still has a crazy amount, and only the last one really matters for the sake of casting. But yeah, I'm not sure if Kammell asked them about that. I don't know, but this is the best thing he can do with what he's given. But I feel like GGG just doesn't. I feel like they don't care enough to put in like enough effort for this. Which is sad, in my opinion. Now, obviously, they're doing something. Maybe they're testing the waters to see if people like it, and if there's if it's worthwhile to do that. Like they stopped doing anything for races, like way back because there was no monetary stuff for them. But to me, this Exilecon racing finale isn't really. I don't know. I feel like they could so easily do. Obviously, I don't know for sure, but Chris has in the past said that it's very, very easy for them to make any kind of event. The whole Exile race thing seems more or less like a way for GGG to pretend to care. Yeah, exactly. I feel like this is just them trying to make people think that they really care, but this is more like throwing half chewed bones to a pack of wolves. They have the tech, they just don't give a fuck. I don't know. I would like to expect more from GGG when it comes to this stuff, but it's a bit unfortunate. Obviously, we don't still know what the final event is. And that's actually another that's an issue in itself. We still don't know what it is. So by the let's assume that Kammell doesn't know what it is. How would he even plan a race around it? It's just like now I'm getting sad. I really hope that GGG steps up their game with this stuff, because we have seen that there's a lot of interest in the racing stuff. They seemingly I don't know, they just don't seem to care too much, which is sad. I feel like there's a bunch of ways to make money out of racing. Like they could literally they could do something like what Rocket League does and add NTX. Like they could make NTX where 50% of it or something like that, it could be more than 50%, goes towards racing stuff, for supporting racing. And that's one way they could see how people, how much people would like to do for it. Like some of these racing events have had grand prizes of like 1,500 or something like that, and that's just people throwing money at it. One good thing you can expect in the future is that Korea will make racing competitive. They will host a lot of events with many orgs who come in the game for decades. Oh god, yeah, that's. I really hope that Korea is the salvation for POE racing. I really do. I really fucking do. I hope that's gonna happen. Like GGG has talked about making like the private leagues having the potential for that shit, right? Like you could make private leagues have fixed seed. You could make private leagues, for example, not have unique drops. I'm not sure if it's a good idea, but they could. The private leagues can have. With them, you can like tailor the best races. Like you can do it. But yeah, I really hope if GGG doesn't step up, someone will. But it's sad to see them not really, you know, do it. The microtransaction stuff that goes towards the race is a bad idea. I mean, tell that to Rocket League. They had a really good success with it. That's just one thing, though. That's just one thing. Because it means Ty will get MTX for cheaper? What the fuck is that supposed to mean? You are I see the cover, but do you understand what the purpose was? They made NTX where people buy it, and most of it because he buys MTX for races and he wins. Oh, that's what you mean. Okay, I see. Like, I think that's like that would be I feel like that would be a good way to do it. But yeah. I'm getting sad now, dude. There's so much potential. There's just so much lost potential. Yeah. I hope Korea is the salvation. Yo.
Yo. How's it going, buddy?
How's the volume, the music volume, and the Kammell's volume? I'm good, enjoying Legion. How's
enjoying?
Yeah, dude, I'm enjoying POE.
Nice. Makes one of us. I died at 2 client crashes. Haven't really played much since.
How's it volume? He's talking.
I feel like they really messed up by buffing mob HP.
I think buffing rare mob HP is fine. Them not doing anything to rare, like the actual bosses though, is like what? This is like the rares have more HP than anyone else.
Like, I feel like they made like SSF worse, right? It's like harder to play.
I mean, you need a good build now, pretty much.
Yeah. So what's up, buddy? What happened? Are you mad about this? You're indifferent, right?
I mean, mad is definitely not a word that I would describe. That's for one. I don't think if I'm indifferent, I definitely care about this stuff.
Are you playing in it? I assume you are, right?
I'll probably pull, yeah. I don't know how much I'll practice for it. I just have to steal someone's spot so they can, we can get the, you know, the bitching about the 2k limit. So I have to take someone's spots right. But I don't know. I don't really like the 2k limit. I feel like that's just GGG's, you know, GGG not really caring. My take on that. And obviously, right, I already talked about it like with stream earlier, but it is 100% not going to be a level 80 race. I think we talked about this too, like a long time ago, right? But for what you were given, I don't think you had any other like, you know, options really. Like, you couldn't make it an Act 5. I feel like.
Yeah, they don't really have like the system set up for it.
Yeah, like the only way I can see them actually having, like, you being able to do like what is most likely gonna be the actual event, like the final event. Oh, that's another thing. Them still not telling us what the final event will be is kind of yeah. That's the thing is on its own, I guess, but
I'm not sure how much it matters.
I mean, you wouldn't qualify someone to a marathon from having a 100-meter sprint or vice versa. So you get the comparison, right? But
yeah, but what does that matter for you knowing what the race is going to be?
No, I'm not saying me knowing. I'm saying that they haven't told the public what the race will be. Like, I don't know for sure.
No, but that's what I'm saying, is it doesn't really matter, right? Until the race.
For this race, I mean, it's a race with which is a qualifier for the event, so I think it matters. But
I'm not sure it matters.
I mean, leveling to 80 is different to leveling, like killing Kitava in Act 5. There's a completely different way of approaching
No,
the
I know,
race.
but like I know what the race is, right?
And I'm like 99% sure that it's an Act 5 Kitava, but
right.
it's just if they know what it is, they should tell it. There's no reason. I feel like there's no reason to hold it off. I think at this point it's better that they would say that what it is, and if they change it, then they change it and they just like tell us that they changed it. I think that would be way better than holding it off, not telling.
Right. It doesn't matter. See, because my point is as long as I know what the race is going to be, that's really all that matters. Like, part of knowing it doesn't really matter beyond, I guess, he could practice, but who would practice a November race? For a November race in June? I guess he would start learning layouts, but I'm not sure how much them actually announcing it matters, other than just people wanting to know. I don't think
I mean, okay, I get your...
the races that we put together, because Mies is, and I assume I don't even know who the other person is, but maybe it's GGG. I assume they know what it is.
I totally get to the point that the game, like, I mean, this is a good example, right? The meta is most likely not gonna be what it was. Like, the meta for the race will, like, the racing won't be what it was before. Like, most likely. Stormbrand is not that great right now, from the little testing I did with it. Like, previously it was just face roll with like no investment, and now with like half investment I've just leveled like a shadow. Like, not too many points in for the Stormbrand shit, and it felt really bad.
I guess,
but like, I feel like it's just knowing what it is. I don't know. I'm just gonna disagree with it not making difference.
All right.
Because even if they can't change the game, like you could still practice. Yeah, layout is one thing. Like, learning layouts for Act 5, like from 1 to Act 5 versus Act 1 to 10 it's a lot of extra work.
Well, I think ultimately it sounds like me and you kind of view this whole thing different. And I suppose that you, like, because I was like, have known about it for a lot longer than, I don't know, anyone pretty much outside of GGG, and so to me it's they had like the post where they says it's gonna be like the best racers. It's just not true. There's just like a lot of flaws with like the system, the amount of tools, our qualifiers. Like, I don't think it was ever gonna be a scenario where everyone looked at it like, these are the 4 best racers alive, and this is going to determine who the best racer is. And I think it's just kind of a fun event. They thought of a good way of getting 4 fairly respected racers, which I think no matter what competition you set up, POE, you're probably going to get... The person who wins it is probably going to be a reasonably good player, right?
Well, yeah, sure.
So I don't think they look at it like with any... I agree with you. They don't really look at it as serious at all. And we take it more seriously than they do. They just kind of look at it like a fun thing to do during the Exilecon.
Yeah, that's definitely the case.
And so it's like, you can keep getting upset about this, or like, I just like, that's kind of why I did the race the same that I would always do the race, because just like, they don't really care all that much. Like, I have these races set up in a specific way each time. I don't have the tools to make an Act 5 race, really, so.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't know, like, if you discuss with them or anything like that, but I think they're good at being away with the tools that you were given. They could have just given you more points, and you would have set up 3 leagues. The first one being, you know, the cap 2k whatever. Then out of that to the top 100 or something like that. So every reasonably good player could go with a pretty slow place and get there, right? And then you cut it again in another. And then finally you have like 10 or something in the last one.
Wait, what do you mean though?
You would have just 3 private leagues.
For what?
Oh, I'm just saying like the different way.
Race?
Yeah. When then it could have been like an Act 5 one.
No, because then you would need either everyone to stream, or what are you doing first to Oriath, and then you don't need 3 races because how you doing it doesn't matter. You would have to, like, they would need to set up tools for boss kill time, which is something
They
that
have that. That's the thing. They have that.
I know you brought it up to them, and they said they couldn't do it. So I don't know. They couldn't do it in time, or they couldn't do it when we talked to them. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. We tried. Me and Sis had that conversation with them, but
Another one is you have a bunch of people. But then, I mean, this regards a bit more setting up and the participant actually knowing what to do when they finish the race. But I don't think that would be an issue. But people check, like, you know, they're doing who is basically of the character. Like somebody whispers them and then they do who is, like the guy who whispered them. And you have to be
but that's like, then you need like a whole group of people.
Yeah, exactly. It's more stuff, but yeah.
I don't know, like people. I have the same like concept of this that I had when people were telling me to like ban Stormbrand, and to me it's like I can only do so much to make POE the game that you want it to be. Like, I don't know, like even if I had banned Stormbrand back in the day, like there's still gonna be like a best skill, and to me it mostly comes down to like GGG having to do shit. Like I don't know, I felt like I tried like to give them as much input as I could. Ziz gave him as much input as he could, you know, and just it's kind of the hand that we were dealt.
Yeah, which kind of comes back to my point that I don't think they really care, which is sad.
No, which is like true. I mean, I don't think. To me, that's like obvious, right? They like haven't cared about.
I'm still, you know, I'm still in the phase of, you know, trying to find the justification why they wouldn't do any, like, you know, anything more for it, instead of just. I guess I'm in denial now. I don't know, but it's weird. Like I feel, again, I don't know. Obviously, I don't know like all the things that they're doing, but I feel like since they have the infra, like the everything for it, they have the system and shit like that. It just feels weird. Like they did flashback, right? With flashback, everyone starts in the Twilight Strand. They start at the exact same time with this private league. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you can't make characters until the league actually starts.
Right.
So you have, you know, spending time doing that, and you know, instead of everyone being ready in the starting line at the same time. And flashback had way more than 2k people. Like it's not like there's a server load issue or anything like that.
No, it's just
so,
like with their race.
They just didn't. I feel like they just didn't want to do it. Whatever they say, I feel like the case is that they didn't want to do it. Whatever the reason that may be.
About the start time specifically being like flashback.
No, not that, but in general,
Kind of
making it like themselves, and then just. I mean, they could have easily like done the actual stuff themselves and then just kind of label that it's your race, right? Like you're the host and shit like that. It doesn't need to be a private league that is created by your account, you know.
Yeah, maybe.
They could have literally made like instead of having, you know, flashback Hardcore Legion, they could have made, you know, Kammell's Legion race. Boom, done. Now you have that. And then they have like again they have the system. It's not that's this. I know this for a fact that it's in the hard thing for them to, you know, whoever is allowed to this league can see the league. Like whoever is, you know, has a spot for the race can see the league and everyone else can't. Like that's the case for private leagues already, right? So, and they did a the long time ago they did the invitational race where they enabled, like, I don't know, just like 10 accounts or 15 or whatever the amount of players we were there, and only we saw the race in there, and we just joined it normally from the system there. It's not like they couldn't do it.
Right. Yeah, I don't think you're wrong. It's like, what do you do with that information? Like, what do you like? Let's say you're right, which I think you are. Like, just don't give a fuck. Like, okay, well, what's the? I don't know.
I guess my
That's like how they've been acting.
I think we already talked about this, but like I think this is them just, you know, we have like a pack of you know, fucking bloodlusty wolves, and they throw them a, you know, half chewed bone or something like that, and then hope that it's enough. And like I feel like they could just let the community do all that stuff themselves. Like, we were fine with doing the, you know, you hosting the events and shit like that. I think that was fine. They could like do like, you know, tiny bit of assistance on there. You know, helping like, you know, allowing like, you know, bigger amount of people in the, or like giving you the points to do it like you're doing now, but without having, you know, this massive, you know, reward in there. So like you know, like this kind of behind the curtain like sport easily, I feel like, instead of like trying to show that they care when they really don't, just to, you know, keep us in the leash and hope that you know, we're happy.
I mean, I wouldn't even go that far. I don't
like,
know.
Like they, like, I feel like they don't actually have
like,
to do anything, and the community could do it. But now that they are like seemingly doing something, I feel like it takes away from community wanting to do anything anymore, because it looks like they're doing something when it's like actually just throwing a prize in something.
Like, I don't even think they're like faking interest. Like, I don't get the sense that they like want everyone to think that they're super interested in stuff. I think they just looked at it as like a pretty cool event. I mean, most of the racers are streamers anyway, so they're people that they kind of want there, or, you know, at least people within the community know that. But I don't think, yeah, I don't get the sense that they're even trying to fake interest in this stuff. I think that they essentially looked at racing like it's a money loss, which I think is short-sighted, but, you know, it's their business decision. I mean, I don't know.
I'm gonna disagree with them not seemingly make, like, you know, wanting us to believe that they really care. Like, whenever racing is brought up in a podcast where Chris is in, he's like, you know, going full you know, 5-year-old, you know, before a Christmas morning, like hoping that we, you know, we get more and more and more, and like they want to do shit and all that.
Well, they have told me they're working on, you know, something that I can't really talk about. That doesn't happen, but it's like
I mean, like, I hope that I'm just wrong.
Like,
I hope that I'm just dead wrong, and that they have great shit for us in store. It just doesn't seem like it.
well, no, I wouldn't bet. I mean, I know what their idea is. Good, but you gotta see. I don't know. Like, it's like I wasn't expecting them to fuck up the being able to choose when you're gonna start your private league timer suggestion that we gave them, and yet the thing sucks. So I don't. You know, they might do whatever I think that they should do, but
by that mean, do you mean that like instead of like the, you know, people being able to log into it before the timer and then the league just starts whenever, you mean like it's literally unable to do anything before the league starts, or like what do you mean?
Well, before it was like you were complaining about how you wanted to be like flashback, and that's how I thought that they were gonna make the league start timer. Like,
yeah, me too, originally.
But yeah, I didn't even think that they would give you the worst possible option for a fix. But I don't know, so they did. And I guess my point is like, let's say they set up some kind of private race structure, they set up a boss kill race structure, whatever. I don't know. They're gonna do it however that they do it. It doesn't seem like they have. I don't know. They have like so many people there, I think, and like pretty sure the people who work on private leagues are like separate than like it's not like the GGG team. Like there's a private league team, or they might be part of like the website team. But I just feel like this gets like put on someone, and then it's like their idea of what's good, even though that's like completely different than what Jonathan would do, which would be a much better idea. So I think there's like too many people, and they'll probably get a race person going at some point that just has no idea what they're doing.
Yeah, I guess the TLDR is like, I mean, I'm not the only one who sees, you know, racing as competitive, but it looks like for GGG it's not really that. Which is kind of bad when they try to, you know, give the the perception that it is. Like, you know, for example, the goddamn the Exilecon page and, you know, shit like that, where they, you know, sell it in a way, like that way, you know, the advertising is, you know, it as something what it actually isn't.
Right. I mean, you probably know GGG history better than me. It doesn't seem like they've ever cared that much or nearly as much as, you know, the players have about the racing, obviously. So it just, I don't know. I think they just eventually said, well, this isn't making money. I don't know.
Ah man, I want to have like a formal debate or something with them with this. I feel like you know, doing something.
It's so like dumb. Like, it doesn't factor in like.
Yeah, there's so
like,
many things.
Watching,
There's,
like,
yeah.
publicity, like, it's just
like the game was so small back then, and like saying, like, you know, the saying that you know, adding a race league, you know, 1 month before the league ends, like, just kills the player retention or something like that. Well, it doesn't have to be a 1 month. It could literally be 3 weeks or like 2 weeks, and it's only in the weekends or something like that. Like, there's so many different ways I feel like they could do it completely differently. I really hope that Korea like just comes and saves the fucking day, honestly.
Why would Korea?
Because Korea is literally esports.
Oh, you mean like that?
Yes, I feel like if there's any hope in POE racing, it's Korea.
I mean, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I would like it. Why move to Korea? I'm down.
I don't think you need to move to Korea for that, but.
No, I'm saying I might move.
Oh.
Independent of Korea becoming dope in POE.
Okay, so we just got a confirmation that Kammell has been hired by Kakao, or whatever the Korean publisher was that was working with GGG to get the game there, and you're gonna be leading the esports POE scene there. Okay, thank you. It's gonna be a fucking great YouTube title right there. Kammell joins Kakao for POE esports.
I mean, here's the thing: is that it's not that hard for me to get that as former potential team manager of Method.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I guess I've said this before, but I feel like instead of doing a very half-assed show about this, they should just like let the community figure the thing out instead. Then, but obviously, but obviously Exilecon shit. So,
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think it's any secret. I know Ziz has hinted at it. Pretty sure people know Ziz is gonna get one of these races, right?
I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah.
And I don't know what his race is gonna be. Maybe he's got some really cool idea that I can think of, or I mean, maybe he talked to GGG at times when I didn't. I don't know what his race is, so we'll have a really. That's better than my shitty, lazy idea.
Yeah, I think this race would have happened without the GGG ticket. I don't know. Maybe not, since you haven't been playing POE that much recently. But let's say that you had played POE, I think it would have happened regardless at that point.
Yeah, I just
them giving the ticket or not, and then it's just I feel like this is kind of this. I mean, it's not the exact same situation as with the beat, where I feel like for them it was just like given it as a last minute thing because whatever other plans they had went sideways, or they didn't have, you know.
No, it wasn't that. It wasn't that. I knew it was gonna be either May or June, pretty much since I first talked to them in December, January thing. Just because there's a certain timetable that they need to run on. So I knew it was gonna be one of those. The biggest issue is one, my races have been fairly similar. You know, they're like XP early map races for the most part, and all of the ideas that I had given them when I had talked to them last in terms of how to racing for like on our side was not stuff that we did. So I didn't see a ton of options in terms of making a really sick race. Also, I don't know, like I kind of feel like it's like I couldn't like add mods or anything. I kind of think it'd be about speed. I mean, maybe not. Maybe I could have tried to do weird, but seemed like the best option to me. Just in terms
I
of,
think you did. I think you did the best that you could with whatever options you were given. And
but you know, if people want to blame me and say that I made a shitty race or a shitty format,
I don't think
I can understand that. It's like
no, I think this is again entirely on GGG and GGG only. I feel like I feel like they could have. I mean, obviously I could be wrong again, but I feel like they could have so easily given you proper tools to do, or you know, them using their tools to help you actually make it properly, like a really good qualifier. But you know, I feel like this is like going, you know, where the fence is the lowest. I don't know if that saying goes well like that in English, but
where the fence is lowest.
Yeah, that's the literal translation from a Finnish saying, where you basically take the easiest path to something.
I see. Makes perfect sense. I think you explained it.
Yeah. You know, so if fence is you know, 10 feet tall in a place A and only 2 feet tall in a place B, you know, you get the point. Good.
Did you oh, I did tell you what happened. That Ty win. I had to ask Ty because I didn't know. I'd be like, make sure he's understands or okay with it.
Wait, not sure. Not sure what you're talking about now, actually.
With what happens at Ty win?
Oh yeah.
He already won the Exilecon.
Yeah, he only got one spot.
Goes to second place. Ty win. I'm not sure Ty's gonna win. I guess we'll see.
Would have been nice if GGG, you know, had this thing explained in their post though. You know, official race event post and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think they really care. I don't know. Like,
it's such a shame because the community cares. It's clear that the community cares.
They've been real flimsy with like the rules of things. Yeah. I mean, they haven't even said what the race is at Exile.
Yeah. I wouldn't even be surprised if there was like you know, right now we all know that there's like 4 people. I would not be surprised at all that it's gonna be more than 4 people, and it's just like the people, like, you know, the good racers who are coming there anyways, for whatever, you know, like who's coming from Orc or whatever. I wouldn't be surprised though.
I think their problem.
But I don't think they like.
Only do 4
actually, I think but I'm talking about like that's, you know, sponsoring 4 tickets and then having like, you know, people who were coming anyways. You know, so it would actually be more than 4 people. No, I don't think their
issue was the ticket. Chris told me there's like some issue with computers or something. I don't really know, but they.
No, but I'm just trying to say that I wouldn't be surprised if they had planned it in a way where they like, okay, so we can sponsor like 4 people, and then we can, you know, there's people coming already who are, you know, considered good racers and all that. We'll just add them to it. Kind of like, you know, like you get in, you know. Just you use this guy, you can, you know, join the race. You're here anyways, kind of thing. But I don't think they're gonna do it. I don't think they're gonna do it at all. Because I think the community would go nuts.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if that was originally a plan. Because as you and I think a lot of people have said, and probably that's the case, they don't really perceive it as a competitive race, but more like a, you know, fun event. And for
So I guess, like,
and for
GGG
that purpose,
better.
that is totally fun. For that kind of purpose, that would be totally fine. Because you know, guys, you know, race so you can compete against you know, known POE like racing and community members in the stage, and that would be like completely different. But that's, you know, obviously not how they told it, and that's not gonna happen. But did I just tell a 6 link or was that a 5 link?
Yeah, you know, like GG.
It was a 5 link because I know divine
me.
here. Okay, good.
Like, who do you think? So I guess, like, who do you think's in charge of this?
Hmm?
I guess it's like my question. Like, someone has to make a decision about all this like Exilecon race stuff, right? Who do you think that is?
I mean, it's taking a slot in their event, which is like 2 days, right? So it can't be too long. So obviously they're given a like time limit or something. I don't know. I don't know if it's Chris.
Yeah, like I just don't know even who I would even bring up big issues with, or who's like. Yeah, I don't know. I talked to Chris and kind of left a bunch of stuff up to us. We gave him some suggestions. Kind of went on our way, and I've dealt with Vex in terms of like the announcing. I kind of think a lot of it's just like Vex. So like if you're like mad at someone for not announcing what tournament it is, or maybe not saying the tie thing, like I don't know. She probably just isn't thinking about it, right?
Yeah, it's just I don't know how to put it into words. Oh yeah, speaking of the announcement thing too, it's like you knew it like way beforehand, and you had your own post like done in like May or something like that already, and right, was it? I think they linked to your like super old post, which didn't have any comments, which was actually really weird.
Yeah, nobody ever commented. I did a Reddit post that.
Yeah, it was weird.
It was like the,
but I guess basically what I'm saying, what I'm trying to come with this now is that I feel like this should have been announced earlier, like officially announced by GGG way earlier, especially when it was already locked in to be at that point, right?
I gave her all the information in May.
Yeah, like
I think that they didn't want to do it because they didn't want to take anything away from Legion, so they waited this long. I mean, you're right. They had all of the information.
Yeah, I mean, like everyone who like were really into this probably knew about it, right? But like everyone who's like really close, tied in with the racing community and shit like that, probably knew about this. But it just feels bad. I think like this should be announced way earlier for people who might not be that super tied with the community, but who wanna, you know, take part and practice. Now you have 10 days.
Well, yeah. So I had been telling people they can say it.
Obviously, like practicing, even though the meta changes, isn't a bad thing. Like obviously, because it's not really about the build. It's more about like how you play and like inventory management, knowing all that kind of stuff. Like playing the actual build, like you can learn that way faster than you can learn all the other micromanagement stuff that you need to know.
I don't know. I was just gonna say that I like I didn't know what more I could do. I don't know. They wanted to postpone it because they wanted people to talk about like their flashback, and then this league. Like even my posts, like I did a Reddit post, didn't really see it. Nobody posted this news post on Reddit. It doesn't have. Like,
it's now on Reddit.
Like I don't know who people might not even care after it's announced. Like I don't know, like anyone cares. And I guess it's more to their point. Like it doesn't seem like people are that invested into racing. I guess for a litany of reasons, but I don't know what more I could do. I get this every time. Like every single race.
Yeah.
That why didn't I make a bigger post or something? Like I don't know. I made a post.
Just to be, super clear. I think you did everything you can do. I don't think anything can be blamed at you, honestly. I think if you were given more options, like if you were given like proper GGG support, you could do really good stuff, but they gave you points to make it, private league with a cap. That's it, right? So
yeah, I think like at some point maybe it'd behoove us to be like, because I guess my point is it doesn't seem like that many people are interested. Like even if you look at my class-based race, which I guess like isn't, it's still my race. Not that many people are gonna care about it, but like it was open and people didn't even really like try. Like there was like essentially a couple hundred people who tried. And I guess what I'm getting at is it doesn't seem like people care really about racing outside of a few of us diehards. And there's a bunch of us who are fairly popular.
I feel like most people like it's like sports in general. More people watch it. Like a lot of people watch esports even though they don't ever practice anything competitive. Like even ever having, caring about even trying to put their leg in there. Right. There's a lot of fucking viewers every single time there's a racing event in POE. Every single time.
I was really mad at the class race. Like I'm never doing that again. I spent because essentially $700, so 1,400 of the 2,000 people could not try, or whatever it ended up. Maybe it wasn't that much, but it was like maybe not that many players. I forget the amount of players that we were having. Like it was literally like I think like 70% or something players, or 60-something% didn't even like play. So I just paid for all these slots for people who just like don't give a shit. And to me, it's just like I've always kind of thought the same way that you do. Like it attracts viewers and it's like creates a lot of excitement, but it just seems like GGG doesn't see it that way or put any value in that. So I don't know.
Yeah, the issue with the class race, in my opinion, is just like there's just it splits it into way too many, like it's like what, 7 classes?
Yep. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I guess that's an issue. It's like how races always were, though. It's just we don't have as many people racing.
That's a bit different though, because those are like if you're referring to like old race seasons, we had so many races, and those were not
even like the flashback races are similar, right?
But the I don't know. I don't think flashback and race belong to the same sentence, because the race. Like, let's say racing to 100 is basically what flashback is. The biggest issue on that is like time. Like people literally, even if they wanted to, people don't have time for it. And then even if people had time for it, that means literally sacrificing your fucking health for the multiple like a week, depending a bit what league you're playing in. It's like it's not good racing. Like as a race, flashback is absolute dog shit in my opinion.
Right. Yeah, I don't know.
It would be fine if it was actually like the the cycling marathon competitions or whatever. Like where you, I don't know the. Goddamn, like where you. Yo, chat, help me out. Where you are like have like this. You cycle Like bicycle, all these like stops and whatnot. Is it like the yeah, toward the fronts, right? It's not done in like one, you know, sitting.
Right.
And like people like defend that. They say that it's like a marathon, but it's not a marathon. It's more like 5 marathons considered like 5 days in a row. To be to actually compare it.
I like that's like one of my issues. I took May off organized races, right? Literally not one race. That time, I guess we had like the flashback. Doesn't seem like anyone cares. I don't know. Even the racers in the last few races I put together haven't really been into it. You know, we had people trying to varying degrees during the beat race. And I don't know if that gets fixed with some GGG enthusiasm. Oh, maybe. This is like kind of what I'm saying. Like it's just like not like same game. And it doesn't seem like they value the shit that we value.
Yeah, which is sad. Because it seemingly looks like they are, to me at least, that they are trying to give the perception that they do care. Whether it be the case or not, I don't know.
Yeah, it's upsetting. I don't know. And
it's just making me sad, pretty much.
Will be after the June race. Like, I don't know. I assume I'll probably do a July race, but does anyone else do any races? We have 2 Exilecon qualifiers. I'm not exactly sure what they are. I don't know why they haven't been announced. Because I think that it's like fairly obvious that they're gonna have to be done at the latest by mid-August, early August. So they're not that far out. I tried to specifically, announce it as well as I could, at least a month in advance for the June race. So yeah, I don't know. It doesn't seem like people care that much. I don't know what the future is going to be beyond the 3 Exilecon qualifiers that are left.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see what the other 2 are gonna be.
Yeah, I don't even know.
If they're gonna be like I don't like level 80s or whatever. This is like, I don't know. It just feels very, very weird that they would qualify for an event that is not gonna be that by, something like that.
Yeah, they did have the B race. I guess was.
Yeah, and that was set up with, but that's easier because everyone was regarded to stream, right? And
yeah, I don't know if all 4 are gonna be like vastly different. I don't know what the other 2 are. Mine's definitely not similar to what the beat one was. I guess it's like not a good race to bring up, but no one could play in it.
I mean, the format itself, I feel like the format of the beat race, like when thinking about what the Hexagon event can be, is better than this. But like the actual, like I'm not talking about the, having limited amount of players and whatnot, but the actual race is.
The B race was not fun.
It had issues, right? It had the first race. The first race that you basically didn't go full speed, right? Or didn't need to. Like it was bad. Like it wasn't optimal to do that if you wanted to actually win. But it was still
8 hours of racing for essentially a race that only mattered for 2.5 hours, and I started drinking before the first race, so it was just like. I was so tired by the 3rd race. Like, I don't know, dude. It was like impossible for me. I did like pretty well in the first 2. Yeah, there's no incentive to try. Like Ty literally was just like, I'm not even gonna practice this because it doesn't matter.
Yeah, yeah.
So I just want to get 8th place because who cares? Doesn't race to 80 mean more chances for unknown players compared to
No.
4 or 5 races?
No, it's pretty much the exact opposite.
I mean, I don't. Yeah, I guess
the shorter the race, the more there is. The easier it is to practice for that, and the easier it is to luck out on some, you know, good drops early on and win because of that. Like on a longer race, you know, some random person finding a top bullet doesn't do much against like good players.
I mean, my race has never been won by someone not really good at racing. So
yeah,
I don't remember. I don't remember a lot of races, even when there was races.
That's only
people would win.
During race seasons there was a lot of games. It depends on of course the race, but there was a lot of races where like which were really short. Where like if you actually found Wanderlust and a Quicksilver in a like you know Marvel race, you actually had a really good chance against the really good players. Or getting good back size on a you know 1 hour race. There were a lot of cases where early RNG helped a lot. So the shorter the race, the higher chance there is to like a quote unquote complete nobody to win.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just dumb or ignorant when hope trying like you know. I'm kind of. Maybe I'm keeping GGG to or like taking them to higher standards than they should be. I don't know.
Yeah, you just gotta give in. I mean, okay, so what you're saying, because there are probably people who are really fast and leveling the first day of the week, hasn't done any Act 4 or 5 races. So an 80 race goes for 4 hours.
How are your maps?
Like 4.5 to 5, which is not day 1 of a league. And you can't, I mean, it's pretty tough to win one of these races if you're like absolute dog shit at Act 1 through 4.
Yeah, like yeah,
you can only be so bad. Like these times aren't that high.
That's why I think this is the best like you know you could do with what you were given, because you need to be good at the actual progression. There's no way you're gonna beat someone who is good at the progression if you're shit at it. There's no way in this race. Absolutely, it's impossible. If it takes you half an hour longer to get the maps than the others, there's no way. There's no way, right? Like the people who have a chance at winning are gonna be like within 10 minutes or something like that into maps of each other, or 15 max or something like that, depending a bit like how they, what kind of ascendancies they do and all that, right?
Right.
But at the same time, I like I don't know, I feel like it takes a lot of RNG out, which I think is good. Like the people who will most likely get a ticket out of this race is someone who will be able to compete in the shorter race, right? I think that's totally the case. Absolutely.
Getting a lucky tabula from Hillock doesn't really matter that much. Like a Wanderlust off Hillock is probably bigger than a tabula off Hillock.
It's gonna be very interesting to see though the new like the skills like the dash, for example.
Yep.
Like it has a pretty like short cooldown. Like you get mobility skill super early now. I think you get it off Hailrake, I think, or Mudflat.
No. You gotta make it to submerge passive.
Yeah, it's either or.
Made the caster leveling like so ridiculously good. The Frostblink and Frostbomb are like nuts though. Do you know what you're gonna play?
Am I gonna race? Most likely. Yeah.
Are you gonna say what you're gonna play?
No, no. If I do any practice for it, it'll be done in off stream.
So I'm not
It's a completely new meta, most likely.
I think I'm gonna play Winter Orb, but I've been telling people I think the best skill is Lightning Trap. But I think I'm gonna play Winter. I might do Static Strike too.
Static Strike is pretty good.
Static Strike is good. More of like a fun thing.
You know what's interesting though? I wonder if they're gonna fix like what kind of on kill effects they're gonna fix before this race, and like imagine Glad actually getting the boom booms that work for the league, and then suddenly, because currently they don't at all. Herald of Ice.
I don't think it matters at all, like literally at all. Because I don't think there's a scenario where you actually get that note if you're playing Glad. You would always take the 20%.
It's a merciless. It's a bit weird, yeah. Yeah, this is probably a bit too short race for that. It depends. Like it depends on how good it can be, right? Like you could potentially respec out when you start mapping. Probably not gonna happen, but it's, you know, of course it's an option. But it like Herald of Ice, for example, also doesn't work on them when they are released.
I don't think melee is very good.
I don't think melee is gonna get this.
I think if you want to win, I don't play melee. Maybe there's like a really good cycle setup. I don't see it. I think we're gonna see a lot of Lightning Trap. If nothing else, because people are pretty lazy, and I told everyone that Lightning Trap's the best skill. Which, I don't know. We saw it in the class race. Like I kind of just I like made the meta for class. Because people just don't have time to practice, so they just kind of assume what you say is right. I have no idea if Lightning Trap is gonna be the best. Ty doesn't make his profiles public. I would say you just go look at Ty's account. I know Leaf is practicing like.
Wait, Leaf actually going back to practice POE? What?
I think Leaf's gonna win.
Yeah, I don't.
It's just gonna be funny. Leaf has been practicing a lot. It's gonna be really good.
I remember when you were like, Leaf doesn't give a fuck. He hasn't done anything. You remember those times?
He generally doesn't, but he's motivated out of anger and hatred. I don't know. It's a weird guy. But yeah, I think
like I don't know. One reason I'm you know thinking of this, like it's a really big investment to practice for level 80 race. It's a lot of time and a lot of runs you need to do. I feel like it's a completely different for the others, and I would probably take my chances at the hopefully races that actually matter for the event, the final event, but you know we don't still know what it is, so it's hard to say. It's just weird that they do it like this.
My last race was an 80 race, and the one in April, and I remember Ty did 18 full 80 practice runs. And I was like, who the hell is gonna come with that? He was doing 18 fucking runs over the course of like 2 weeks.
When we had actual races and everything that back in the day, I practiced a lot.
It's just
that's why I was so good back in the day. I actually practiced. The people who practice are good. Like a lot of the practice came out of just doing the races, but I did off race practice as well. Most of it was related to layouts though, but yeah.
I feel like me and Dead and Doom are like in the same boat. We're just like coasting off old practicing. Like I don't even really play POE.
I mean, remember like I think it was the 90 race or whatever where I just like ended up like tying like rank 5 or something like that. I did like one practice run to maps. Like it's not like I completely suck. I'm just quite off from the guys who haven't practiced.
Well, that was an interesting race because Steel won it. and it was obvious to us that no one had practiced racing in a long time. So it was like, I don't know, we're so much better than we were in that first race. Just because, like, if you've practiced over like the last year, try to learn layouts, it just kind of sticks with you for the most part. But there are like, I mean, now we're in a new meta. Like, I feel like the practicing is like way more important right now than it has been in a long time. Even the Stormbrand meta, like when Stormbrand, we're playing Stormbrand now. It took like fucking, I don't know, like a day to figure that meta out. Like, Stormbrand was such a brain dead skill.
There's so much micro now in being good because you have to you have to be like spamming the mobile disc early. It gives you so much extra time early on. The sheet actually does damage now too. Like the enemies early can actually do damage. Like if you face tank Hillock, he can actually die. He can actually do more damage than you can heal through flash.
No, you can't.
It depends a bit. Like when I was doing it with the Shadow, I was literally standing like still. He got 2 crits on me, and I almost died. That was obviously a bit unlucky, but it is a lot like easier to die now early on than before. The Roas in mudflats are fucking lethal, dude.
You're not gonna die early. The game is like the same. The only thing is like it gets a little crazy once you like later in the game. Stuff is like more it's pretty hard, but I think the early game.
I really like the changes. It's you have to be a lot better now. Early on.
You think?
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's so much more micro now. There is so much more micro you can do.
Maybe. I don't know, like it's like I figured out the Frostblank thing. Yo, Frostblank's nuts, dude.
Yeah, it is. It's really good.
But yeah, I don't know. Who wants to micro or yeah, like I don't know, get that much better? I just yeah, I don't know. Especially for me, there's like no upside doing well right now. If I win, it'll actually be sad. I can't even take the money, and I can't take the Exile content. I just fucking would have won a race. Like, I don't know. I guess there's some satisfaction in that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just overall very sad about the state of the racing, or like what GGG is doing for it. It feels like they're trying, but I don't like. Fuck no! It looks like they are trying, but it doesn't feel like it. Yes.
Nah. It looks like they want to look like they're trying.
Yeah, well, yeah. Sorry, that's basically what that's what I meant. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, it's 3 AM for me. I'm a bit tired.
Oh wow. Bit tired, dude. I gotta accept all these people. Yeah, this shit takes forever, dude. You can't do like an accept all button either.
Yeah. How many people have already requested?
Like over 100. Yo, Copo Guerra, dude. This guy is evil. Dude, this guy. Every single, I guess except this most recent race. Every single race on the forum, like forum post, he like leaves a comment about how like this race is only about people who like skip sleep and how it's extremely unhealthy to make gamers do this. Like it was like a 4-hour race, like take it easy. Oh my god. He actually won Marauder with 13 hours and 35 minutes or some nonsense. level 80.
Oh god.
I had to
I
stay
mean,
up
maybe
and track
you
the ladder the whole time.
maybe you can't sleep if you're bad, but nobody else is playing your class. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I said to somebody when the race finally finished. I was like, mate, this guy actually has a point because it took him 13 and a half hours.
That's why that's why the class races like these are not that good. That's why you know, brute forcing people to not use a certain skill is really bad, because like fuck, it's not like you're telling Usain Bolt that you can't, you know, run at full speed in your sprint. It's like we've had this discussion before. It's just fucking weird. People are, you know, making the argument.
Dude, I was so mad at myself. Because I was like, if I had known it was going to be 13 hours, I would just reroll when I died on Witch and won my money back. Yeah, I was so pissed. I was like, I should have seen this coming.
And when I died early, I just like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go sleep. I don't care. I don't care that much. I just like went to sleep. I didn't
The
even
best
remember.
was Steel in that race.
Oh
Steel
my
got
God,
second
yeah.
Scion and then lost Templar
Yeah.
on a reroll. Witch. Elementalist Winter Orb. #1 build in that race.
Oh, what do you think about the Elementalist James?
I actually am gonna play Elementalist Winter Orb in the upcoming race if I play Winter Orb.
It got it pretty hard, but
You just don't take that node, you go Heralds.
yeah.
You run Ice Bite, Innervate, and Prolif on your Herald device. I mean, Pendulum's also really good for Winter Orb, so you don't even really lose that much in a race where you're only doing Cruel anyway. You don't have the Prolif, but I'm not sure how much it
I think
matters
Glad might not even need to do Cruel.
No, you just do normal.
Yeah, you just take the speed and you go with it. What do you get? You can get like some fucking Enderman charges. That's it. It's not like you aren't running Blood Rage anyways. So frenzy charges are coming. It's not like, sure, having some Enderman charges could maybe help you survive, maybe, but like, in a race to 80, you don't take that shit.
Yeah, but if you're only doing Cruel Lab, Lynn, you don't need the shock stuff. You're not running off shock effectiveness. You have 10 instead. I think if you actually think about it, it really is not much worse. Your Herald device still has what, like 50% chance of shock and then 50% chance to freeze, which is really what you're doing anyway. I think like in the end it's like really bad, but I don't think it ultimately matters all that much for this kind of a race. And Winter Orb's still really good. Really, really good. I was surprised at how good Winter Orb was.
But you have done some practice or tests? I mean, of course, you know, try harding.
No, I was gonna play a Stormbrand character. I'm like, I didn't think they had nerfed Stormbrand so much.
Stormbrand got it pretty hard.
And Stormbrand's trash, so at level 28, I'm like, I can't keep playing this, so I switched to Winter Orb. And then, I mean, I stopped playing at like 60, but I could Winter Orb comfortably from 28 to 60. I don't see any reason why I won't maps. Depends on, I guess, how much you value the lead content. If you think it's like dog shit for the race, so
I think you just click it and you don't give a fuck. You just get the extra blues and whatnot. Man, I think if you were to, I don't know, it's so much time invested into getting them.
If you right now you have no freeze chance, that's just not true. You have Ice Bite. Elementalist gets inherent freeze chance. You have what, 10% on the tree?
Didn't pay attention.
I didn't get any of that. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. I think lightning traps.
I think so. I think the Slayer might be really good as well. Slayer, you actually gotta do Cruel Lab though.
Why would Slayer be really good?
Well, you get basically double onslaughts. Like instant, like the 20% more is good, but like you have to have something to scale it off. So it depends how much attack speed you're gonna get.
I don't know. I just
The
don't
call
think
is
melee's that good,
amazing.
so,
The
like,
call is
cards-
amazing. You get a really good. It's. I think Slayer might be an option. I don't think people are gonna play it, but I think it's under appreciated.
Maybe Ziz has to be the hero you need. Isn't Ziz playing Cyclone?
You don't necessarily have to play Cyclone.
What else play?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just saying that you don't have to. They're
Oh,
just generic. It's just generic damage.
Glad Spectral, bro.
Shield Spectral Throne. Just get a good shield for it.
Just gonna practice by watching Ty kill it.
I mean, how you do that? I don't think he streams when he practices.
Yeah, he does. He streams every day. Practice.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I keep telling him what he should test, and then he goes and tests it.
Oh.
It's OP, dude. You should give him a suggestion. He'll go and try it for you. I told him to try Deadeye Lightning Trap to see if it's better than Sabo, because you get the blind aura now. So like Sabo seems worse, and Tailwind seems pretty good. I haven't figured out the conclusion on whether or not Deadeye is better than Sabo, but made sense to me. Plus, like, you have to do weird path thing on any trapper now. Because you gotta go near that ranger node that gets frenzy charges.
Yeah. Oh god, I hate that change. Fuck, dude. Pisses me off. Why did they nerf trappers? They didn't need to be nerfed.
They buffed ranger trappers.
Yeah, I was about to say, unless you're a ranger. I mean, like racing trappers.
What are you trying to say, dude?
Endgame ranger trap. Like I don't know. I mean, it depends your skill tree up on that one.
You saying I can't play Deadeye late game trapper? Dude, that might actually not be that bad. I mean, it's like
I mean, you have
Saturday.
action speed, so it's not like it's horrible. You have a
Have you played traps?
Hmm?
Have you played traps since the new patch?
Oh no.
They like changed the throwing speed, I think. Like it's like way less. Like it seems like you throw them a lot faster.
It's probably actually, yeah, I don't know. I haven't tried. Can't say anything. I think I need to go sleep. It's fucking 3 AM.
Okay.
So I'm not sure. We've been talking for like an hour, and half of it hasn't even been on the topic, I guess. But any closing thoughts on this racing stuff, other than you don't care, you're playing you're playing other games.
Apex, dude. Season 2 comes out July 2nd.
What, isn't
The
Apex
race is
dying?
actually on my birthday.
Isn't Apex dying, dude?
I mean, I don't care. I'm having fun. I guess my closing remarks are, GGG doesn't really care that much about racing, so everyone should keep their hopes fairly down. And if you think that I did something wrong, you should tell me. Down or
Also, Kammell has been hired by Kakao to bring POE esports in Korea. Another thing, right?
I'm going to,
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, so my work allows me to travel, so I don't have to be anywhere specific, and then I just wanted to go to Korea anyway.
I just really hope that either GGG is holding off to some amazing stuff, which I doubt, but I would like to be wrong, or that Korea comes and saves the day and makes POE racing a thing. I hope Korea makes GGG care.
Maybe that's like why Ty's been winning all these races. He's like the proxy for Korea. Get into the POE racing. Do people not know Ty's Korean?
It would actually be so amazing if Korea makes this stuff happen and then GGG starts to care.
I mean, probably. It depends on like how poppin' it gets for Korea.
Yeah. Apparently Korea is in Korea the POE that's having some pretty good market share in video games. It's only like a couple percentile behind Overwatch, I think? Something like that. I don't remember
The hell
exactly.
plays Overwatch?
It's like, I think Overwatch was like top 5 or something. I don't know. Jin, tell us, what was the market share for POE in there?
Fucking Blizzard, dude. Blizzard could sell dog shit. And it'll be like, this is
They
the
sell
most
dog shit.
paid for dog
Dude,
shit.
they do sell dog shit. What you're saying is they could sell worse dog shit.
What's dog shit?
Hmm?
What's dog shit from Blizzard?
Have you heard of this mobile thing?
What, Diablo Immortal? Do you even have a phone?
I do, but it probably won't be able to play it. Okay, so POV is like at 4% and Overwatch is 6.5. 90k concurrent. It's pretty
Not bad.
It's pretty good, yeah.
Plus, it'll be good when they bring in some of their racers who just get absolutely dominated, and then all of us racers can talk shit, and then 3 years later we can just become completely irrelevant. It's all Koreans. I'm ready, dude.
That's what everyone says about MOBAs and everything like that. But I believe currently the leading MOBA team is European, right? Like a little MOBA, I'm talking about League of Legends right now. I don't know about Dota.
I mean, shit, they got lucky, dude. We all know the Koreans are gonna be back on top.
Yeah. That's a good chat, dude.
Trying to get your stupid EU flex.
We should do this more often when we're not, you know, going feels bad, man, about GGG and racing. Yeah.
Yo, Apex is fun.
I
You should
really
play Apex, Carve.
PlayStation 4, right?
Yeah, play PlayStation 4.
We still haven't done that.
Dude, I was so mad about the performance issues on PoE that I haven't played
It's still
PlayStation
shit, by the
4
way.
since.
It's still shit, by the way.
Oh, you're telling me that Legion didn't fix all those issues?
Yeah, yeah, I am.
Have you tried it?
No, but there's people on my stream who play on PlayStation and Xbox. They've been talking about it.
I guess that's true. You're like the PlayStation PoE guy.
I'm gonna like Carl, when you're coming back to PlayStation, we are like, you know, I made the April,
You, dude.
I made the April's Fools like the joke at the title when I'm like, you know, I'm now, you know, only in the PlayStation 4 PoE player, And a lot of people didn't actually realize that it was April Fool's. That means that it was a pretty good April Fool's, because I got months after people asking about it.
That's pretty good. It's pretty good. All right. Well.
Nice.
Guess I'm gonna let you go, buddy.
Yeah, I need to get some.
I guess don't be afraid to message me if you ever have something you want to talk about.
Damn, you're some good luck, dude.
Give me shit later.
You're some good luck. I just corrupted my ED to 21 and my Swift affliction to 21/20. Yes, thanks, dude.
Hey, you're welcome.
Yes, you're a good talisman. You're a good luck talisman. Okay, I know who I'm calling whenever I'm about to corrupt something now.
Sure. I'll be here for you. Right under this desk with my Discord up.
Yeah, that's
alright, my dude.
Yeah, good night, dude. Good chat.
Bye, buddy.
Yeah, this dragged on and we didn't really talk. Like, we kind of sidetracked a lot. But yeah, I really hope that GGG finds the way to give more for rating. I really do. Maybe this is just the beginning, and since I've been here since forever, I'm thinking that they already had their beginning, but maybe this is a new one. Maybe this is GGG rising from the ashes like a phoenix when it comes to POE racing. Maybe them bringing Korea the game, and then the Exilecon hype racing event. Maybe, you know, who knows? I'm a bit doubtful, but this is a thing that I hope I'm extremely wrong. Yeah. Hopefully you guys enjoyed our little chat.